Hello, today's lesson will be about making a right turn at a dual carriageway, which typically has 2 lanes on the left and 2 lanes on the right, separated by a median in the middle. Generally speaking, the left side is for vehicles going in one direction, and the right side is for vehicles coming back, meaning the directions of traffic are separated. In general, as we all know, the left side is always the side where cars enter or, let's say, the cars heading forward, as we can see from the sides. In the middle, the left side will always be for cars going forward, and the right side is for the cars returning. So, generally, my path will be on the left side. Now, as you can see, on the right side, the cars are returning, and on the left side, the cars are going forward. In this case, if I'm heading forward, my position will be on the left. The idea here is how to turn right when coming from a dual carriageway and how to turn right if coming from a side road into the dual carriageway. The rule for making a right turn is the same as usual. If I want to go right, I'll need to wait for the cars coming from the opposite direction. However, the key point here is that I must use the far lane inside the central reservation or the left side of the central reservation, and I must wait for the cars coming from the opposite direction. If no cars are coming, I can proceed without any problem. The normal right turn rules apply. As seen in the video, when I want to turn right, after checking my mirrors and signaling right, I will move to the right. Then, I must check the opposite direction in front of me, as that's what matters. For instance, this white car will stop me because there's a give-way rule. Now, it's my turn to stop and wait for the cars coming from the front, which are currently on my left side. Once there's a gap on the left side, I can proceed and go straight. Basically, as soon as I turn into the central space, I've completed the right turn. The same rule applies. I must wait for the cars coming from the opposite direction. The difference here is that there's a space in the middle where I can wait. For example, a car turning in finds that no one is coming from the opposite direction. It can proceed smoothly without any issues. However, an important note is that I must go all the way to the far side. I cannot turn in from the near side, or let's say, from the right side of the road. I have to go to the far end of the road to make the turn. As you can see here, a white car came from the left, which is my right side. So, I can't enter from the first opening, I need to enter from the farthest opening. If I see that the road ahead is clear, I don't need to stop and can continue without hesitation. This is how to make a right turn from a dual carriageway. Sometimes, I might see give-way signs on the road. These signs help to clarify the situation but don't change the rules. For example, the give-way signs on the right are clear and helpful to let me know this is a give-way. If these signs are absent, it's still a give-way, as seen at the entrance where the farthest opening is reached. The area on the right is the give-way for those coming from the opposite direction. Similarly, if I stop at the give-way, I wait for the opposite side, now to my left, to clear before proceeding. Now, if I'm coming from a side road and want to turn right into the dual carriageway, it's important to know that I need to move to the other side of the road to turn right. This means I must cross the first road and then turn right into the second road. Essentially, when coming from this spot, I have 2 things to check. The right side needs to be clear, and the middle section where I will stop also needs to be clear. If I want to cross the give-way, I must ensure I can reach the middle without getting stuck on the road. In this case, I'll move toward the median. From the right, there must be no cars, and the middle section must also be clear for me to proceed. Even if the right side is clear but there's a car in the middle, I must wait. When I reach the middle, I must check the left side and the road ahead. This give-way, at the marked spot, the star, has priority over me. When I'm in the middle, I must wait for it to be clear before continuing. Here's an example. I check the right and see it's clear, and the middle section is also clear, so I can move to the middle. Then, I check the left and the road ahead. If both are clear, I can proceed. However, if either is occupied, I must wait my turn to go. Since I'm turning right, I'll be the last one to go, based on the give way rule in the new street ahead of me. When stopping in the middle, if the median is narrow and cannot accommodate my car, like in this example, I must wait until both sides are clear before proceeding. This is called a one-go turn. Since the median doesn't have enough space, I must wait for both sides of the road to be clear before making a single turn. Stopping in the middle is prohibited because part of my car would remain on the road, which is dangerous. Here's another example. If the median is narrow, I need to check the right side and the left side. Both roads must be clear because I'm not allowed to stop in the middle. Once both sides are clear, I can proceed in one go. If I stop in the middle, part of my car will still be on the road, which is unsafe. Regarding traffic lights on the dual carriageway, when there's a green light, I no longer need to wait. For example, if I'm turning right onto the dual carriageway, and my signal is green, then the lights on both the right and left sides will be red. The only car I need to watch for is the one directly opposite me. In this case, I won't use the middle area since there's no need to wait for anyone. With a green light, the sides are red, and I don't have to check the right or left. As seen in this video, all the cases we discussed are demonstrated here. Cars moving right and left are on the dual carriageway. For example, a grey car on the right approaches the give way to turn right. It stops on the left side relative to itself. Another grey SUV goes to the farthest opening and waits for its turn until the oncoming traffic clears. When the signal stops the oncoming cars, it can proceed without any issues. Similarly, the cars on the right also proceed when the opposing signal is red. Cars coming from the side road ahead, which is controlled by traffic lights, don't check right or left. They approach and turn without any problems because the signal is green for them. When our turn comes and our signal turns green, the sides will be red. Thus, I won't have anyone to wait for, whether I'm going straight or making a turn. This makes it much easier because I don't need to check the right or left. The give way becomes irrelevant since there's no one to wait for. Hopefully, the video is clear. It's a bit long, but I wish everyone the best of luck.